Okay, so now I'm gonna look at blood on the moon here. So, blood on the moon means blood on the grandmother moon, or blood on the mother. You know, her soul is the black hole that formed the moon's core, if you remember that. So, should her and I be, um, have an untimely departure, then her consciousness, being the moon, is where she'll fall asleep at. Me, I'll fall asleep in the sun and in the supermassive black hole at the center of the galaxy. So now it's the previous plan about cloning us as babies is revolves around somebody being here and around to be able to do that, such as my son. But if a larger explosion happens, let's say, I'm going to shut this down for a minute. So, this here or this here, the rock or the paper. If that happened to me and her, well, we could be cloned and brought back by Mingun. However, because Mingun lives in the community here, if this happens, he can't do that because he won't be around either. So that's what we're looking at. So over the moon and blood on the moon refers to my son, because in that particular trailer, Blood on the Moon, the main protagonist talks to somebody and he says, "I'm sorry about your son," which is metaphorical for rock paper scissors, and somebody from scissors saying, "I'm sorry about your son," you know. So now, why would they be sorry? Well, let's look at Fallout 76, which is the next trailer. This one here. So, so Fallout 76, you're going to notice this sloth right at the beginning at 2 seconds in. Okay? It's a giant sloth. Well, sloth is one of the seven deadly sins. Right? And that's one of my nicknames. The nickname was the giant they gave me in the community because I'm 6'7". So that means the giant sloth means giant sin, deadly. So you just replace giant with Anthony, sin, which is Anthony evil. So there are certain people here who are going to claim that I'm evil, and then there are certain people that are going to say that I'm evil. Simply with the giant sloth, giant sin, Anthony evil, because the nickname giant is code name for me, and the term sloth is a sin, right? It's a deadly sin. So that's what that means. So in order to get rid of that supposed threat or danger, the giant sloth or the Anthony sin, right? The Anthony sin, that's going to happen. So at the end here, I don't know if I have that. Yeah. So what was that here? 51 seconds in. So at 51 seconds in, near the end, you're going to see this big winged beast. He flies up in front of a nuclear explosion there. These are people. That's a nuclear explosion. These are missiles, missile trails. So the people who are have a duty to activate their weapon to get rid of me and your mother, they're going to say that I'm sinful. They're not even going to look at the facts that I'm 100% truthful and honest with what's going on with me. Instead, they're going to focus on the fact, of the facts of the case at hand, which they don't seem to agree with. Well, the other half of mankind says, you know what? He may have did this and done that, but somebody who's 100% honest, can't we trust somebody like that? I mean, at least he's an honest person, and he's admitted to everything he's ever done. That should be somebody who can be trusted. Satan the deceiver is a deceiver for a reason. How can he be Satan the deceiver when he's not being dishonest? He's telling us the 100% truth. So they're still going to use that in a way to, do their dirty deeds. So one of two things should happen. One is an actual human here who who's so blind that they and upset about, you know, a female being in control of power that they're gonna launch those. Or it could be one of evil's weapons, who is a person who's come here and displaced somebody's soul and is pretending to be somebody they're not, so that they can manipulate, you know, the people that need to be manipulated, so that they can launch those. It's either or. It's either going to be a human who's third eye blind, or to be a Walking Dead person pretending to be a human who's, you know, who has a job to, you know, make sure they push that button. Either one is dangerous. So that's what that represents, the fallout. Now, when you add 7 plus 6, you get 13. And that's, you know, my number, and that's your mother's secret number. So the reason why, you know, they're going to launch that, you know, that strike is because of they think I'm a, you know, someone I'm not. They think I'm that person. That guy's not even real, man. So, so that's what Fallout 76 is about. So the blood on the moon is about, you know, Fallout 76 happening. Now, the bottom here is I wish you were here, creators, is about, you know, the people, the boxers responsible for, you know, Fallout 76. Let's just put it that way. And 3,000 years of longing is the reason why, you know, these professional boxers are responsible for the demise of, you know, the heart of Bruce County, Saugeen Ojibwe Nation. So if you don't get that, you will once you read that once you watch that other video. You'll understand. I just have to be mindful of what I'm saying here. So, 1, 2, 3. One of those has been around, you know, quite some time. Let's just put it that way. And you should be able to understand what I'm hinting at here when you watch it.